Hi everybody, this is Christine Rasha with the e-learning department, and today I want to spend a little bit of time talking about text-legible documents and why they're important for accessibility. So when I say something is text-legible, what that means is when you have a document on your computer, a digital file, the individual characters that make up the text that you read are recognized as characters by the computer. So it would actually recognize the individual letters that make up a document. The place where we see this most often, or where we would see documents that are not text legible, is when you have scanned files in your course. So things that you have scanned from a textbook, or perhaps old journal articles that have been digitized via a scanner, such as this one right here. You see, we can read this text. We say sometimes getting through the introduction of a research article, we can still read the words, but the computer doesn't recognize those as individual characters. It just sees the compressed image. It's basically looking at a picture. The quickest way to tell whether or not a document is text legible is to try and highlight. If you can't click and drag and grab individual text, that's a good indication that the file's been compressed and it's not recognizing these as actual words. So you can see I don't get a cursor. I can't highlight a single sentence to copy and paste or whatever. The issue we have with documents that are like this, that have been compressed, when it comes to accessibility, is that screen readers and text-to-speech software like ReadSpeaker, which is now enabled in our Blackboard courses, requires text to be legible in order for them to process and complete the function so that people can actually use them to have things read out loud to them. So if you have documents that are like this, it can't recognize any words, so you don't get them being read. In the case of ReadSpeaker, we can just do a quick demonstration. If I close this, here is a PDF document open in a course, and we've opened up the ReadSpeaker document reader and everything looks fine. All of our tools are up here, but if I click the listen button,
could not find the text to read.
Your students will get an error when they actually try to use the software to read that particular article. Fortunately, it's really not difficult to change compressed files or scanned documents into text legible ones. You just need to have a copy of Adobe Acrobat Pro. Most of the administrative assistants on campus have them. The e-learning department staff has licenses for Adobe Acrobat Pro. So if you know that you have a lot of documents that are like this in your course and you want to get them converted, we can help you with that. We can assist you in making sure that that gets done. If you happen to have your own copy, here's what that looks like. So I have opened the file here in Acrobat Pro. This won't work in Reader, unfortunately. This is part of the paid license product, but if I open the Tools menu, and you can see that there is a drop down here for Recognize Text, and if I select in this file, I am going to select All Pages. OCR stands for Optical Character Recognition. So what it's going to go through is it's going to go looking for English characters and pick them out so that text becomes legible characters. I'll go ahead and run this, and it doesn't take very long at all. Also, something worth noting, if your file needs to be shifted, so if your pages need to be rotated, it will do that automatically, which is super handy. So you can see right away that my cursor has gone from that little 4-point rectangular selection tool is now a regular cursor, and if I do my typical click and drag, it's going to recognize. This is going to look more like what you would see if you were doing this in a Word document that you'd created. So we know that the characters have been recognized, and now if we re-upload this OCR document into our course, it should open just fine in text reading software like ReadSpeaker. So I will go ahead and do that, and I'll bring you back once it's loaded up. All right, we're back in the class with our example document, and as you can see, here is our re-uploaded version of this paper. I'm going to click the ReadSpeaker icon to open it in the document reader. And as you can see, it is identical to the article that we had done before. But now, if we click listen,
sometimes getting through the introduction of a research article can be the most difficult part of reading it.
Our ReadSpeaker software is able to read it, and you can see that that entire process overall took me about 2 minutes. to actually download the article, run the OCR, and re-upload it into Blackboard. So it's not that time intensive. It's definitely not difficult to do. We don't want that to be a barrier to creating accessible courses and giving as many opportunities for your students to use the accessibility software that we have enabled for them. So if you notice that you have these in your course and you'd like to talk to us more about it, remember that our contact email is simply here. I'll put it on the screen. It's elearning@cocc.edu, and we'd be more than happy to talk about how you can create accessible documents in your Blackboard course by the use of some simple software.